Hey guys, today we're going to be going over some myths, some lies, some misunderstandings around Society 6. I'm going to go over three different myths, all right? Basically, I just want to be clear before I even go into them. The reason why myths are created is because it comes from a select group of people, with all due respect, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, but they think that they know what they're talking about around Society 6, but they maybe generate a few dollars here and there. And based on the information that they have amalgamated or understood and the dollars that they've made, they think that they're correct. But they really haven't created experiments that may approve or disprove their hypotheses. The whole purpose of creating a ideology is if it is proved or disproved via an experimentation. I mean, that's the whole point. That's the whole point why I run experiments. Part of the reason that you guys know about my Society6 appearing in search experiment is because I ran the experiment. I took the time to do it. And the thing about running experiments for print-on-demand platforms is it's not frequent. Most people don't run experiments for print-on-demand because their only concern is to make money. They don't have time to be experimenting. They want to make money, which I don't blame them. But, I do this, and I specify, and I'm a professional at this, and therefore I run experiments because I want to learn how I can get the best edge possible. With that being said, let's go ahead and go into three different myths. Myth number one is a simple myth, is that ugly art is not found in search. This is not true. This is not true. I want to repeat, this is not true. This is an account with some pretty ugly-looking images, in my opinion. I mean, they're hideous, in my opinion. Look at this image. This image is hideous to me. This image is ranked in search. This image exists in search. It looks terrible to me. I don't know who would pay for this in their right mind. I would not pay for this. Even if you gave it to me for free, I wouldn't take it. But hey, it's an ugly image, and it makes money on the platform. So that's kind of that part. All right, so let's be clear about that part. Ugly images do show up on search. That's the first myth. People say, oh, you have to have high-quality, good-looking images. That's not true. Not for Society6. For them to appear in search. I'm not talking about making money. I'm talking about appearing in search. Appearing in search and making money are two different things. Okay? These are ugly. They appear in search. So that's the first myth dispelled. Second myth, all right, is you cannot appear in search if you create AI art. This is another myth, and it's really just a really, really, really big, probably the worst myth of all because it's just not true. I'll give you an example. This account here, and once again, I have countless data points. I've studied this for, dare I say, months on end. If we really took the amount of hours and clocked them in, God only knows, but I've done a lot of research. But anyways, and by the way, not only do I do a lot of research, but I do a lot of action too. I'm not one of these researchers that have no proof of success or anything like that. I do a lot of action, and I've generated thousands of dollars on Society6 per month and overall. So, that's not really a question. But this image here, for example, is an AI-generated image, okay? It's on Society6 search. It is. It exists. You could search for it. You'll find it. This image, let me go here to the designs. This image is in the search, okay? It's an AI-generated image. It exists. There's other AI-generated images that have been made with AI, if you do a simple search, are there as well. Whether the image is created by AI or not does not control if it shows up on search. Like I said, I've created an experiment before where I've shown, like I said, right here in the lessons, in the paid lessons in our members area, and this is our members area. It's free to join if you want to join, but the lesson inside is a paid lesson right here, appearing in search, Society6, and I specifically went over the designs that I explained the components of the designs that sold and were in search and the designs that weren't. And I specifically used one account, and I've uploaded 100 plus that were probably not going to appear in search, and they didn't. And then I uploaded just 2 designs after that that I believed were going to show up in search. And they did. And not only did they go up, but they actually got sales. All right. So, or a sale each at the time. And once again, there were only 2 designs. So, and it wasn't even that much time in between. So if you want to see that experiment, you want to learn more, and you want to learn what you're doing wrong because you're not showing up in search, this is the lesson for you. I'll leave it in the link in the description. Okay, so the next myth, this is the last myth, is that the free accounts, the lowest tier, and if you're familiar, Society6 has 3 tiers. They have a free tier, they have a 10 design tier, or excuse me, 100 design tier, and they have a 10,000 design tier. The free tier, if you upload images, they're not going to show up in search. This is also a myth. It's a bad myth. It's just simply not true. Once again, these images become perpetuated by people who either have a negative experience or just they don't have a full picture of what actually goes on the platform, and it's a complete myth. It's a complete myth. You can absolutely get sales on a small account, the free accounts, and you could actually appear in search. It's not something that's not true. I mean, it's absolutely true. You absolutely can appear in search. You absolutely can get sales. The reality is you don't have quantity. That's the thing that's holding you back with a free account. But can you? Absolutely. So those are the 3 myths, guys. All right. Once again, I've already spoke about why these myths get perpetuated. You have somebody, for example, who might have a little bit of experience. A lot of this goes on in Facebook groups too, and then it becomes disseminated into YouTube. But Facebook groups, right? Somebody says, "Oh, I got this amount of sales on Society6. I made $50, and here's what I learned. Society6 doesn't, allow XYZ," which probably is incorrect because once again, they don't run the experiment. They don't test the antithesis of their thesis, or their antithesis of their thesis. They don't test it. And so they just disseminate the information. People read it. They say, "Oh, thank you for the information. Thank you so much." Then they go in YouTube comments and comment back and forth talking about this new ideology that they have. Then other people take that information. Then next thing you know, a creator on YouTube who really has no experience wants to make a video on it. They'll read some Facebook post or some comment. They'll search a little bit deeper. And since there's a lot of people that think the same way, because the false information has been pushed out, they'll kind of replicate it into their video. And then the next thing you have is this cycle of just creating more and more people who are misinformed. So that's the reality of things. All right. Hopefully this video helps out, clear some myths, dispel some myths. And yeah, that's what it comes down to. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching, and peace out. Bye.